All right. Okay, let's delve into some lesser known Blink-182 songs that I would consider somewhat progressive. I'll be sharing with you my personal top 10 most progressive songs from the band. Why progressive, you ask? Well, Tom mentioned that their upcoming album has some of the most progressive songs they've ever written, so I thought it'd be fitting to make a video showcasing the songs that I think are Blink's most progressive ones to date. Obviously, there are progressive rock bands like Tool, Carnival or Haken, you name it, whose music is far more complex than that of a pop-punk band like Blink-182. But so what does progressive mean for this video? Well, first of all, the song can't have a dull standard structure. It should have unexpected twists and turns, dynamic shifts and other interesting chord progressions or melodies that make it stand out in some way. I also want to take a moment to give some love to Jerry Finn, who worked with Blink-182 on Enema of the State, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket and the Untitled album, and also Boxcar Racer and Plus 44. Finn was a vital member of the team, taking Blink's simple yet melodic compositions and making them more varied and interesting.
Working with Jerry is like having the fourth member of Blink-182.
So rest in peace, Jerry. You really passed away too soon. Number 10. Enthused. Yes, that's my number 10. I know the song is quite old and sounds like just like classic Blink, but let me explain why I believe it's quite progressive in its own way. So the intro has like 4 different parts before the vocals even start. Furthermore, there's no classic chorus. I mean, after the verse there's octave solo and then it's like this doesn't care at all part. Although it might initially seem like a classic Blink song from Dude Ranch, I find it so interestingly constructed and written that I wanted to include it on the list. And before I forget, this channel now offers channel memberships, so if you want to support my work, I would be forever grateful. Go check out the link in the description. So number 9, Blame It On My Youth. Wait, what? Why? When the song came out as Nine's first single, the fan world was like, what is this? Everyone thought this song was a disaster and Blink had now become a full-on pop band. But I have to admit, I found the song to be quite intriguingly produced. Admittedly, it has a very simple chord progression, and in terms of songwriting, it's not very progressive at all. Even in terms of song structure, there are hardly any surprises. But I think the song sounds very atypical for Blink, and especially the production has something about it that makes it sound exciting and experimental to me. The drums have an interesting character as well as the guitar. And the synthesizers are very peculiar, especially in the beginning and in the song's intro. They give the song a lot of character right from the first few seconds. Also, the vocals at the end with this crazy chorus or phaser effect are very interesting and reminiscent of the end of Feeling This, which is pretty cool. So, while not typically what I would call progressive, it's definitely worthy of a spot at number 9 on my list. Number 8. 6/8. I think this is the only song from Blink with a 6/8 time signature, besides Plus 44's Lillian. If I've forgotten a song by Blink, feel free to mention in the comments, but I don't think so. The song has a rather dark intro and verses as well, with an unusual drum beat due to the 6/8 time. You live in a world I cannot believe. Matt's shouts give the song more personality, as the lyrics ironically point out. The 2-part C-part section is particularly noteworthy and progressive. Matt's spoken words are an interesting touch here, giving this song an even more distinctive character, along with his screamed vocals towards the end. The way the screams are edited is also quite unique and adds to the overall charm. John Feldman's production style has been criticized for being too polished and characterless, but he managed to do certain things well. For example, like the shouting has character to it. Number 7, Kaleidoscope. From the moment I first heard Neighborhoods, this song has remained my favorite. While the drum sound is not that good or could have been better, there's something special about the track, and the dynamic between Mark and Tom has something special to it. Based on the guitar sound, it seems like Mark was the primary writer, and I appreciate that he's not the only one singing on it. I used to find it a little frustrating when, especially on Neighborhoods, there are songs that sounded totally like Angels and Airwaves, and there are songs like they sounded too much like Plus 44, because Mark wrote some stuff, Tom wrote some stuff, Mark sang his stuff, Tom sang his stuff. So they should switch it up, but they got it just right with this track. And yeah, there's an outro that adds even more character to the song and makes it intriguing and innovative. Number 6, Black Rain. When I first heard this song, I couldn't believe that this was actually Blink. The beginning was quite awful to me and nothing like their usual style. But over time, I found it to be quite interesting, which is why it's on my number 6 on my list. After this organ style chorus intro, it transitions to a Matrix-like style, which I personally find really cool. So it's a pretty unique song for Blink, but I wouldn't want another one like it. One is enough. Number 5, Give Me One Good Reason.
Why this song shouldn't be on number 5.
This song has an awesome song structure. The song starts off with a clean guitar riff, accompanied with some soft drums that play some rhythm click. Then the song transitions into a really cool pattern where the drums play against the guitar and the bass, like playing in the middle of the rhythm. The drums play against the guitar and bass instead of just following along. This creates a really unique groove with the kick and snare hitting precisely in the gaps and the hi-hat adding some embellishments. This makes a very simple chord progression sound incredibly interesting. After the verse comes the transitional part, which also serves as a bridge before the chorus. There's nothing particularly special about the chorus. Next comes the clean riff from the beginning again, but this time with an added bass line. Thanks, Jerry Finn.
Jerry Finn! Mr. Finn, please come here.
The whole second verse part is also structured differently, with only one section of singing verse, and then this transitional part comes again with a distorted riff. But they play it more often, and then they're going again into the chorus. And there's a C part where it's kind of an octave solo thing again. Very cool melody that you can like sing along to if you want to. And then there's a little part where you can hear the verse drums alone. And then again the chorus, and then the end of the song. I think this is an absolutely brilliantly structured song, which is why I've placed it quite high on my list. Maybe because Take Off Your Pants and Jacket is my favorite Blink album, I don't know. Number 4, Dysentery Gary. So, this song begins with a very distinct and memorable riff. The first part of the verse is also noteworthy, as the drums do not initially follow a consistent beat, only joining in halfway through the verse. At first they're like... yeah, and then it goes like... yeah, okay. Following the verse, there's a brief yet peaceful bridge that adds some dimension to the song. The next part could be a bridge, it could be another verse, I don't know, but that's leading into the chorus, which is has a very unique feeling because Tom isn't playing chords, he's just playing 3 individual notes, possibly even harmonics, as far as I noticed Tom playing at the Coachella. It looks like he's playing harmonics. Four notes. So the second verse is identical to the first one. However, this is when my favorite part of maybe any Blink song kicks in. I adore this beat with its light bossa nova feel and Mark's speedy vocals. Ease away the problems and the pain that comes, it's gonna make you wanna kick and scream all along. You wish you would say, fuck the guy that took one away again. Then the song breaks out again into this like bridge verse thing, and then the song comes down again to another clean part. Fantastic. Yeah, and then at the end, the chorus again with different lyrics and the end. I find it remarkable how many different segments this song has, particularly since it's only 2 minutes and 45 seconds long. So let's hit the top 3. In third place is the song Violence from the Untitled album. This song is truly an untypical little son of a tape recorder. The intro alone with this weird percussion sounds going on and Tom's guitar playing starts like crazy all over the place, pulling the notes. Then Travis doing this totally crazy fill. Yeah, with the drum fill Travis leads in the actual intro and guitar riff. Then the verse starts and it's like so different. It's like spoken word singing style, maybe a little bit like feeling this, but not as much energy. Really more spoken, not yelled.
6 bottles went down the drain. 1 hour's a waste of time.
The chorus is essentially the intro riff with vocals, and it possesses a really strong energy. The second chorus then features a really cool vocal harmony
Forever and after.
before it goes into a very melodic and melancholic, dreamlike C part. And then the song ends with a double chorus, and I think the song is a brilliant mix of progressive songwriting and straightforwardness. On number 2 is Feeling This. I'm feeling this! And I must confess, I almost forget how incredibly progressive Feeling This is, considering how many times it has been heard. Starting with the classic flanging drums and Tom's equally classic guitar riff.
They're all E's.
The verse is absolutely unique. It's not sung, but rather a kind of screamed, yelled, spoken word style is used.
I got no regret right now. I'm feeling this.
The first chorus consists only of bass and drums with the legendary cowbell beat. And then Tom coming in later, singing the harmony in the second half.
Place your hand in mine.
Then there's a short guitar build-up. And the second verse starts a little more quiet, just a riff and a tambourine. And Tom's, where do we go from here? Turn the lights down now! The second chorus is exactly like the first one, which I think is okay. This way of having a quiet chorus is pretty atypical and cool, so it can be done twice. Then the roomy drums set in with Tom screaming the chorus an octave higher. After that, Mark starts this faster rapping singing part over the roomy drums.
This place was never the same again after you came and went. How can you say you...
And then the last chorus sets in double time with chords and leading into this legendary vocal chaos outro with many different lyric layers overlapping. And one of the best song endings ever. Number 1. Build This Pool. Stockholm Syndrome. For me, Stockholm Syndrome takes the top spot. This song is incredibly unconventional in every aspect. The opening is immediately recognizable with its rhythmic guitar and continuous drum featuring snare and rhythm. And this following riff is also legendary. And what is different about this song is that the band isn't using the one. They don't count the one as one. They use the one and. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It's a little delayed, which makes it pretty unique. Then there's Tom's totally yelling, screaming vocals, and Mark is like really calm and singing very low. Thing I remember. Very great dynamic. I've never heard a song that sounds like this. Then there's this like little crazy instrumental part that sounds pretty open. The drums going crazy all over the place, which leads into a more closed and palm muted part.
Interesting bass line. It's so interesting because it's so fucking wrong. So wrong. Check him out, he's great at what he does.
No singing, and there is like no chorus, or at least nothing feels like a classic chorus to me. That's so cool and progressive. And then there's this part, then comes a clean guitar in and Mark singing this "I'm so lost." After that he's like exploding and screaming an octave higher, "I'm not with disappointment." And then we go back to this verse, or maybe it's the chorus, I don't know. It sounds a little bit more like a verse to me, but I don't know. There's nothing like in any other song. It's so different. To me, this song is a perfect example of progressive and aggressive Blink-182. And I hope we can expect something similar to this song on a new album, as Tom promised. However, Tom's definition of progressive may differ from mine. We will see what the new album brings. If you're interested in what informations we have about the new album, I made a video on all informations we have so far about the new album. But what are your thoughts? Did I miss any songs that are progressive to you? Let me know in the comments, and I see you in the next video.